Hey hools, welcome back to Daydream Arcade, baby! Wow! We are back. Oh my god, my Google went off again. Anyway, welcome back to us, Spicy Saturday.
That's the only thing that we identify as now. We are Spicy Saturday.
Today's subreddit, can you guess? It's in the title, r/TrueOffMyChest. We're here for some spicy little confessions that people are posting.
Before we get started, if you guys would like to join Hoolville, just go on down there and hit that little red button. Hit the subscribe button. Is it red? I don't know. Is it not red anymore?
I don't think it's red. You're in like 2009.
Yeah, it's like, you idiot. It's been gray for 400 years. Well, anyway, go down there and hit that little gray button, you know, the color that has absolutely no personality whatsoever. Unlike us.
So, I'm gonna go first this week, cause I can. So, this first post is from a now deleted user. They're not there anymore. It's spicy. No, it's spicy.
This must be really spicy. Sometimes I'll go back to visit a post that I've saved earlier in the week for when we record, and then I'll go back and it's a deleted user or something. So I'm like, uh-oh. Okay,
so the title of this one is, I don't know if my family traditions are ethical. This first little line is already, ooh. My family partakes in inbreeding. The people that we tend to marry can vary from first cousins to siblings. My mom isn't my father's first wife, and she isn't fully related to him, but she is his half-cousin. My father's first wife was his sister. She died due to heart complications, and they shared 2 daughters. A while ago, my half-sister, 28 female, invited me to have drinks with some of her friends. In the country I live in, the legal age for drinking is 16. And the topic of our appearance came up. We all look very similar to each other. I have lightly researched before I posted this, and it is common for inbred children to be some sort of albino. Facial deformities as well, I'm not sure. And I told them that it was because we are related. Her friend didn't realize what I meant, and more than likely took it as what it sounded like. We both share the same father, so of course we look alike.
I'd like to imagine that when they brought it up, they said it so candidly, like it wasn't even a big deal. Like they didn't do a pause or anything. There's no, well... listen, if I tell you this, promise me that you won't judge me. It's just like, well, we're related, so it's a, anyway, moving on.
Anyway, my sister did though, and we ended up leaving early. On the car ride home, she told me that our family matters are meant to stay quiet and away from people who aren't our own. She kept saying that even after we arrived home, and even told my parents about it. My father got very upset after she told him and left the house. My mother simply told me that I wouldn't be able to keep going out with my sister and her friends if I didn't learn how to act properly while other people are in attendance.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I spent the entirety of the night looking up why our relations are wrong, and I haven't been able to stop thinking of it since. This happened a fortnight ago, and I am still debating whether or not to post this. But I need counseling, and I don't want to ask my parents about it. I just need to make it known to someone, as I have no friends. I am homeschooled and only ever leave my house with my sisters. And my full-blooded brothers seem to be aware with how our family dynamics aren't socially acceptable and are okay with it. I don't know what to do. Yeah. Yeah. There is an edit, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
Ooh. Well, first off, like, I know that in some cases being homeschooled, I know this, people are like, why is your first thought going to that?
No, it's okay. Continue.
I know that in some cases being homeschooled, in certain cases, I have some friends that were homeschooled. For a lot of them, it was not the case. Sorry, I had McDonald's before this.
Oh my god, get it together, bestie.
I know that in some cases, some of my friends have been homeschooled. For a lot of them, this wasn't the case. That can kind of stunt social growth in a way.
Yeah, because you really only deal with your family. Or like, maybe someone that's been hired to teach you.
Yeah. Most of my friends that were homeschooled by their parents. So they all had a healthy family dynamic. So, they were fine. But I know,
yeah,
but
this one, not so much.
Yeah, no. And God.
I just feel so bad for OP because it's like they're realizing that, hey, this kind of family stuff is a little fucked up, and I'm kind of learning that now. But everyone just seems to be like ignoring it. And it's like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. Just don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like hearing stories of people that have escaped the Westboro Baptist Church. Are you familiar with the Westboro Baptist Church?
Uh-huh. They're a big fan of gays.
Huge fan. Number one supporter of gays, the Westboro Baptist Church. You heard it here, folks. This is like a banner that just has the logo on it, and it just says number one supporter of gays. Yeah, it reminds me of the story of Megan Phelps Roper, the daughter of Fred Phelps. She was part of the Westboro Baptist Church. Her father, Fred, is the one who founded the church, and eventually she kind of just found out that this church kind of fucked up.
Kind of sus.
Yeah, kind of sus. So she ended up leaving, and that's what this story kind of reminds me of. That's kind of what my mind jumped to immediately.
So there are comments from OP and like a top comment and shit. Okay. So one of the top comments says, not sure where you live, but there are serious medical reasons why close family members should not marry. Causes many birth defects and medical problems. Just be safe and steer clear of having relationships, in parentheses, sexual, with close family members. Only date people not related to you. You don't have to follow in their footsteps. And OP responded with, I was never made aware of this by any of my family members. I always believed that this was the norm for most families up until a while ago when I found out not every family partook in it. But I didn't know it was wrong. I'm the youngest out of all my siblings, and I don't know anybody aside from my family members. I've been closest with my eldest sister, and I recently was able to leave the house with her. I don't know how I could leave them, and currently it feels like I know nothing.
Yeah, I can't imagine how it would feel to. I mean, I don't know if it was in an instant, but just in general, to have your entire belief system and everything that you were brought up on kind of just pulled out from under you.
Yeah, like thinking that's completely normal. Not really. It seems like so. Another person commented. Responding to that comment I just read, and said, out of curiosity, can you elaborate more on recently being able to leave the house? Were you previously required to stay inside? If so, what was the reasoning for that?
Yeah, I was about to ask if there was a part where they said that if they were able to leave.
Yeah, they responded, my siblings and I would not be allowed to leave our house. We could go outside and to our gardens, but not much more than that. We are still not of age, so when we do leave to the city, it has to be chaperoned. And I recently started to do it with my sister as she is older and my father lets me go out with her. This has been my 4th or 5th time leaving the house without them and only her.
Does she have a good relationship with her sister?
I think they said they were close to their eldest sisters. They go out with her and like her friends and stuff. Then someone responded to that saying, did your parents ever give a reason why you weren't allowed to leave the house without an older family chaperone? And OP responded, they have said that because I am younger and more frail, which I am sick often, and they were worried that something could happen. My brothers as well, but they tend to go out more as they are 4 years my elder.
That's understandable, if they have a compromised immune system, especially now, after COVID.
Yeah. So there's an edit. It says, first off, thank you for the kind words in the comments. I've been trying my best to answer all and will continue to do so. I do not know the legality. Hey. I do not know. I do not know the legality of most things, but there have been people that have commented asking about it, and I will like to answer in the best possible way. I did not know that homeschooling is illegal in Germany up until 30 minutes ago. My mother has been my tutor since I was a child. I know next to nothing of her own education, but she says it's the same as my own. I also do not know the legality and legitimacy of their marriages now that it has been brought to my attention that it is not legal to marry one sibling in my country. I was not aware.
Oh.
My grandparents' parents were cousins. That is as far back as I know, but it could go further than that. Our family members tend to remarry often, 4 or 5 times, and there are a lot of family members, so I understand as to how it could be confusing. My parents are not physically abusive to us. They do not hit us, nor do they restrict anything from us. We each have our own room and our own beds.
They've just fucked you up in different ways for the rest of your life. That you mentally and emotionally abuse the fuck out of you, and it's not okay.
My father's first daughters are one of the only few people in our family that have friends outside of our relatives. They are older, therefore they have more freedom to go out and socialize. That is all I know. I hope I am able to update soon enough.
That would be great if we can get an update someday. We should mark that one down.
I did, but the account is deleted. If you guys do want to go read that and read more comments, because there are a lot of comments and OP responds to a whole bunch of them. So if you want to read that, we'll leave it in the description. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. And I hope OP is okay. And she gets out of that, because that seems incredibly toxic and like a cult-like mentality. Okay, next one. This one's a little more lighthearted, but these people crazy. No, they're not crazy. It's just they have shit that they need to. So this is by user wooden-slice-3565. Title is, my partner and I both cheated on each other with the same person. Me, 21 female, and my partner, Emma, 23 female, not the lesbians, have been dating for a little over 3 years. Both of us are close friends with this girl, Vanessa, 21 female, who is considerably attractive and has previously hinted that she likes me as more than just a friend. One day, Vanessa sent me a couple nudes of herself out of the blue. This was during a time, when Emma and I were having a major fight and agreed to go no contact for a bit. I was feeling particularly lonely and selfish, so I sent some back, and it all went downhill from there. We then sexted for a week or so and eventually ended up sleeping together. I immediately regretted it after the fact and didn't know what to do. This was about 2 weeks ago. Fast forward to yesterday, I still hadn't confessed. Jesus Christ. I still hadn't confessed my infidelity. Vanessa adds all three of us to a shared group chat and immediately sends out a bunch of screenshots/evidence of me cheating. I'm so screwed, I thought. I started panicking when Vanessa suddenly sends out even more screenshots, except these showcased Emma sending her nudes and it discussing how they had sex, and how amazing it was. Vanessa then leaves the group chat. Needless to say, I was in shock. Neither Emma nor I said anything to one another until the end of the day. She showed up at my apartment around 10 p.m. but wasn't mad. Instead of talking about what had happened, we just cuddled on my couch for a couple of hours and as if everything was fine. At some point, she said, we need to be in an open relationship. I agreed with her, and that was that. We eventually fell asleep in each other's arms afterwards. We woke up this morning, exchanged a few I love yous, and started our days. Neither the cheating incident nor the big fight before that have even been addressed. And something tells me that they never will be. I had to type this out because I can't stop thinking about how we are both incredibly toxic individuals, yet somehow perfect for each other.
Oh, isn't that weird how that always works out?
Yes. You know?
Yeah. But then when it ends, oh my God.
When it ends, it's like an atomic bomb. It's like Oppenheimer.
No, it's like, oh my Lord. It's like when the explosion goes and then there's just, you hear nothing. Like you can't even hear air. It's just, you hear just this ringing in your ears, and it's kind of almost deafening in a way, but it's just silent.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking crazy. Yeah, no, I do think they're good for each other because, you know, I don't know if one person would have that kind of toxic mentality and then be with someone who doesn't have that mentality at all. Like, that would ruin the other person. And it's like, I don't think it's fair to involve someone else into your things, knowing, like, they seem pretty self-aware. But they're still not really, like...
Not really all there.
Yeah. There is an edit, but what are your thoughts? Oh, joy!
I think that... I think that, you know, I mean, it's always hard to sit back and say, oh, they should have done this, they should have done that.
Yeah, because you don't know what you would do in that situation either.
Yeah, and you even yourself, you could sit there and be like, oh, I would probably do this, I could probably do that, but you don't know what you do until you're faced with that situation, which is like kind of, this is, the fuck. I'm having a Mitch McConnell moment. I'm having a Mitch moment.
I just spit on myself, you fuck. I was drinking water. God. Ridiculous. My leg.
My leg.
My leg. There's an edit. It's edit for clarity. Both my partner and I have severe BPD and a lot of other mental health issues. I'm personally very impulsive and have a tendency to do harmful things without putting much thought into them. We do happen to be in therapy, though. We both experienced a lot of toxic/abusive relationships in the past and have previously cheated on each other. This is why the cheating itself wasn't that surprising to either of us. It was more so the fact that we cheated with the same person. I also want to clarify that by open relationship, she meant that we should be able to sleep with other people, not date them.
Well, I mean, that is a thing in like open relationships where if you both agree to that boundary where you're not gonna just do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you guys like communicate and like have like that healthy communication between you, that can be totally healthy, and that could work. Yeah. This case sounds a little. I feel like they both need to work on themselves, very much so.
I feel like open relationships can really only work with people that are very comfortable with who they are and are at least have a very good level of emotional maturity. It's obviously not for everybody, but also monogamy isn't for everybody. It's a fucking prison.
All right. What do you got for me, Darryl?
I have 2 stories here, and this first one is from user Kind of Sad with 2 Ds. The title is, He Catfished Me, but turned out to be the greatest guy I ever met. He sent me very old pics of him when he was in shape, and when we first met, I was surprised to find out that he is double his previous size. It shocked me at first, but I was already attracted to his personality, so I didn't back out. Our date went so well. This guy is a true gentleman. He has great sense of humor that has left me in tears, and his touch is so gentle and loving.
Oh.
He took care of me and paid so much attention to everything I was saying and doing. He even remembered every small detail about me that we spoke about weeks prior, when we were getting to know each other. Now I'm only thinking about meeting him again. He changed my world completely. So that's a brief one. We have 2 edits here.
Okay.
I'll read edit 2 because this one kind of continues the story in a way. Just to clarify, he was very insecure about himself and mentioned that he barely ever takes pictures. I saw how uncomfortable he was talking about himself, so didn't want to add more discomfort by asking why he didn't send me a recent picture. Yeah. I struggle with self-image myself, so I know how hard that can be. We talk nonstop every day, and he is the only person that understands me, so I'm not letting someone like him go. I also would like to apologize for my English. It's not my first language. Hope you all have a good day. I think that was very well spoken for someone who says that English is not their first language. I didn't have to, not like last week where I read that one story where I had to, on the fly, just do that kind of.
Oh, yeah, like fix the grammar. Well, I think that's a very wholesome little thing. I can understand, like, struggling to take pictures because I rarely do. Don't really, I guess, judge someone by their weight. That's fucking stupid.
I've never catfished someone, but I've used
used old
photos
pictures many times.
I've used old pictures of me. Yeah, and.
But yeah, man, it's pretty cute story, and I love that you found someone that gets you. That's rare, especially on first dates. Like, that's nerve-wracking as shit.
I haven't been on a first date in a while, and I'm like of first dates.
No, yeah, first dates are literally terrifying. I've had an incredible first date before, and it worked out really well, and it was awesome. I rarely go on first dates, to be honest, especially when I was in like my single era. I am very picky with my first dates, I guess. Like I don't really just go out often. Like I have to be talking to the person for a little bit, and I'll be like, "Hey, let's meet up," or something. I can go out if I'm invited out and go do something, but if I've just met the person, they're like, "Hey, you want to meet up for drinks? You want to go do something?" I'm like, no. Ask me in a week.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
You might get a maybe.
Yeah.
Some comments here. It started off somewhat sickening, but turned quite wholesome. Quite the sequence of events.
I don't know about sickening, because it's not like he used a different person. It was still him. It was just from long ago.
This comment right here, this one's my favorite one. It's obviously the top comment for a reason. He really faked it till he made it, huh?
Hey man, that's how you gotta fucking live. Make it till you make it.
The comment immediately below that, encouraging and enabling catfishers everywhere now.
If it's you, but from maybe a little bit ago, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, the comment right underneath that says, to be fair, he catfished as himself. So, yeah. Listen, it's not good to catfish people. Have you ever watched the show Catfished?
I was obsessed with that show.
we can't talk about this today because this episode's good, because this video is going to be like 3 hours. Okay. All right. So this last story is, it's a little sad. I'm not going to lie. We are going to just bring the mood down a little bit, and we're just gonna get a little sad.
Get a little sad. Trigger warning? Question mark?
Depression? Trigger mark? Trigger mark?
Trigger mark.
See, we gotta get you guys laughing because then we're just gonna hit you with that.
We're gonna punch you.
Sadness.
We're gonna uppercut you with some feelings.
This is posted by user I Love Cats and Monster.
That's adorable.
And the title is, I want my husband to fall in love with my sister. As the title says, I want them to fall in love. I, 30 female, met my husband, 34, when we were kids. We used to live on the same street, and our parents were very close. Me, my sister, him, and his sister never spent a minute without each other from when I was 4 until I was 11. We were still close after, but now my husband and his family moved a few blocks away. And we were entering puberty, so he babysat me and his sister. But my sister is the same age as him, so they still hung out. Everyone at that time believed they were going to get married, but they never even got together. My sister did confess to having a crush on him when they were 12, but that's about it. Fast forward a few years, him and I reconnected after he moved away. At this point, I was 20 and he was 24. He had just finished his studies abroad. We fell in love and hit it off. We got married, had our son in January of 2020, and a baby girl in August of 2022. After my daughter's birth, I was diagnosed with cancer. It's terminal, and I only have a few months left.
Okay.
My husband and I are both very outgoing, social, and kind of childish maybe. But lately, all I can do is cry and lay in my bed. I'm exhausted, and the only reason I don't apply for euthanasia is because of my children. I know he will have no trouble finding a beautiful, caring partner in the future, but I'm still scared. I know my sister had always taken a liking to him, and he likes her. Their feelings just never bloomed because of our relationship, but I can feel they're there sometimes. And recently they had a lot of one-on-one time planning stuff because I'm too tired. My kids find great support in her and my husband. I love them both and think that if he had connected with her after first moving back, they would have been together now. I am in no way jealous or delusional. I know the feelings will come, and the sooner the better. That's the end.
There's no edits or anything?
No edits.
God.
I'll just go down to the comments, and that'll spark some conversation here. I think it depends on the people involved. If my brother died, I would never even consider a relationship with his widow, as I would consider that to be somewhat morbid. Even if they are not a couple, she could still be there to support your husband and children.
Yeah, I get like both sides.
Listen, if they are grown adults,
yeah,
if they choose to go down the route of pursuing each other romantically, they are grown adults. They're in their 30s. They can work all that mumbo jumbo
and
out.
His wife's dead or gonna die.
Yeah. As long as she's not doing something like my dying wish, my final breath.
Fuck my sister.
I want you to fuck my sister.
No, I can like see it coming from a place where like she doesn't want him to be alone.
Yeah,
and, wants that support system, and especially for her kids too.
I'd say that it's totally up to them what they want to do. Yeah. I cannot sit here and judge them for anything really, because this is a very serious personal situation, and I
can't imagine being in that situation. My heart goes out to you, OP. I hope you and your family can be, find some positivity out of this, I guess, even though it's an all-around shitty situation.
Spend as much time as you can with your husband and your sister, and every little minute that you have left,
and the kids.
And the kids. Sorry, I forgot the kids.
It's crazy.
And
fuck the
I didn't
kids,
mean
though.
to neglect. I didn't mean to neglect the kids. Yeah. I hope that everyone ultimately ends up happy.
Well.
So we can't leave off with just an incredibly soul-crushing story. So this has nothing to do with the subreddit TrueOffMyChest, but this could, if it was from the perspective of the person that I'm talking about, this could potentially go in Am I the Weenie, or AKA AITA. For those of you that follow us on Instagram, if you don't, you can follow us on Instagram at the Daydream Arcade. Just we'll put the link in the description. It's always there. It's always there. I did a little fun Instagram story takeover thing the other night. My girlfriend and I and a couple of our friends, we went to an All Elite Wrestling event. It's kind of like WWE, but it's another company. Anyways, we all like wrestling, so we went. We had a great time. And where we were sitting, there was a son and his father. Now, this kid was 7 years old. He brought a sign and everything that said, "It's my birthday."
Oh.
The ring announcer during commercial breaks likes to go around and have like fun conversations with the crowd on the mic. He was looking around at signs. He likes to like point them out, and he saw the sign and he said, "It's my birthday, 7 years old." And it's like the kid's first AEW event. And Justin goes, "Can we get everybody here to say happy birthday on 3? 1, 2, 3." And then we all screamed happy birthday. It's like a couple thousand people at the 7-year-old.
Yeah,
like,
that's really wholesome.
Shouting happy birthday. That's really wholesome. Personally, I had a great time. My girlfriend had a great time. But you know who eventually wasn't having a good time? The father. This kid throughout the night, I guess, was asking him a lot of questions. He's 7. He's 7.
Yeah.
The kid was really enjoying himself, but I think that as the night went on, to give you a time frame, this is probably around between 10 and 10:30 p.m. The second show is when the father obviously started getting tired, and the kid was like walking up and down the steps of the section that we were sitting at, kinda. And you can tell that the father is getting annoyed, and the son is asking a lot of questions, and the dad is just being like, just like answering questions with an attitude. And at one point, I hear the dad say, "Let's go home." You don't even watch Rampage. Rampage is the name of the second show. You don't even watch Rampage. You don't know anyone. I don't really know anyone. You're tired. If you're tired, tell me so we can just go home. The thing is that we can go home right now, and regardless, you can sleep in the car. I can't. This kid just had what could have possibly have been one of the best nights of his young life, and his dad soured it because he was getting cranky. Like, my dad used to take me to wrestling events all the time when I was little, and he never once gave off the impression that he was, like, sick of it.
Yeah.
Or bored. If he was, he didn't say anything. He did it because he liked seeing how happy it made me. That's a little story for you, because I said that on the story that I would share a story that was kind of in the vein of Am I the Weenie? So here is a dad that is an absolute weenie.
Yeah, I feel that. My dad, both my parents really would take me to like concerts, because that's my wrestling. And they would always have a fun time like I would. They wouldn't be like, "Wow, this is fucking boring," because they don't like it. They would be happy because I was happy.
Yeah, take some joy in the fact that your child is having a good time and making memories, because in turn that you make memories with your child.
And one time, the band that I went to go see, that my dad drove like an hour for me and my best friend to go to, the band that we went there for the entirety, they thought my dad was security.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they would go up to him and just talk to him. And
that's so wholesome.
I went up to my dad, and they were all just around him, and I was like, "Hello?" I was like, "What the fuck?"
"Hey, sweetie, I know these guys."
And then I got a picture with every single one of them.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So wholesome, man.
Dude, it was so funny because he was just wearing all black and sitting on a stool. And they were like, "Security?"
That is legitimately like that's like the essential security guard kit.
Yeah.
That's the starter kit. All right, well, that's going to do it for us today on Spicy Saturday. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I hope you didn't click off of that last story. I probably lost some of you at wrestling, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
If you made
it to the end of this, if you made it to the end of this video, comment your mom.
Let's go.
If you want to follow our social media, all of our personal links are downstairs. Are downstairs in the description, as well as the Daydream Arcade social media as well. So you guys can follow us there. We'll see you guys on the next Spicy Saturday.